The Mental Health, Addiction, and Recovery Services Board of Lorain County is here for you. If you or a loved one needs help for mental health or substance use problems, contact our Navigator line at 440-240-7025. If this is more urgent, you can contact our crisis hotline at 1-800-888-6161, or you can use the crisis text line by texting the number 4 and the word HOPE to 741-741. Here are some stories from Lorain County residents sharing their recovery journey.
My dad overdosed in May. When it first happened, I didn't even want to say the word out loud. And if I'm being honest, it still makes me uncomfortable. It almost felt shameful. I wanted to pretend like it wasn't real. And it felt like once I said that, everything else about him went out the window. It's like once you say overdose, the person in question becomes subhuman to everyone else. And the reality is that my father was sick. His body was addicted to substances that were bad for him, and he could no longer control it. The hard part is that addiction's an illness that you can't see, and no one wants to advertise that about themselves. He'd always had his struggles, but to me, my dad was invincible until he wasn't. And then it felt like I had to grow up overnight. I was 20 years old, legally and medically responsible for everything. He was in the hospital for 12 days, and they're the longest days I ever lived. His condition was very public, and honestly, it sucked. Because how do you stay positive and hopeful when people are saying that he's dead, and he still won't wake up? I would sit around for hours waiting for phone calls from doctors, and we were unable to visit because of COVID. And on the 12th day, I went to the hospital, and I held my dad's hand, and I physically watched him pass away. I can close my eyes and watch it happen over and over again. I planned his funeral, I emptied his house, and I had to be brave for everyone because there was no other choice. My life will never feel the same without him. I've been crying every single day for over 3 months now, and I wish I was exaggerating. Some days I don't get dressed or get out of bed still. I kept telling myself that this isn't my life, but it is. My dad will never watch my sister graduate high school. He will never walk us down the aisle, and he'll never meet our children. And more than anything, I wish that I could have saved him.
Hi, I'm Casey. I'm an alcoholic addict. I was very young when I started using drugs, and I didn't have a childhood or an adult life either because drugs took over my life. I have overdosed quite a few times, and I'm still here by the grace of God, and I have a little bit of time sober, and I decided to change my life because I have 2 young children, and I didn't want to be a statistic. And I started losing all my friends and even family over drugs, heroin, and like I said, I didn't want to be that statistic. So I had changed my life, and by the grace of God, I have a way better way of living. I see my children today, and I work in a rehab center. And, I'm just blessed with a better way of life and a sober life today. Thank you for listening.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah. I was a heroin addict, and I just want to tell you a little bit about my story. So I had a normal life growing up. Like, my parents were always a part of my life. I was always shown love. I went to school. I was a good kid until I turned about 13, and that's when my life like really started to kind of go the wrong way. I started like smoking weed, drinking, then it led to pills, and then because I had got prescribed a pain pill when I got my wisdom teeth pulled, and instantly I was like, this is what I've been looking for, I love this. And sadly I seek that for the rest of my life for a very, very long time. And it progressed from pills to heroin, and I started to notice that it was actually taking over my life. And I dropped out of high school my senior year with 3 credits left to get, not very smart, and my life was just a revolving door of like drugs, and then out of jail, treatments, rehab, hurting people, hurting myself, ending up in the hospital, overdosing. My boyfriend's found me overdosed multiple times, the father of my child. My mom and dad have gotten a call from Columbus, Ohio, and I'm not even from there. I don't even know how I got there, but that I was pretty much lucky to be alive because I took too much heroin and pills. And by the grace of God, I am standing here today. But there was multiple times when I should have died and I didn't. And by the grace of God, I am sober today. But I remember living like that and just thinking my life would never change. There was never another way out. I would always be a junkie, as they call us. And I would just live like that for the rest of my life. I thought it was normal. I thought people my age, that's what they did, and it was normal. Until I started to notice that it wasn't normal. And I wasn't just hurting myself, I was hurting everyone around me. And I didn't want to put my family through that anymore. I knew when I had gotten introduced to AA in the rooms, I knew that there was a better way of life. And I knew that's what I had to do to stay sober. So that's what I did. And I finally surrendered and, went to detox, started going to meetings, started the whole program or sponsorship. But I mean, there's still people today that tell me, oh, you're always going to be a junkie, you're going to relapse sooner or later, blah, 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 blah. And they can think whatever they want. That's none of my business what they think. But I know who I am today, and that I'm a good person, and all I can do is show people that I'm sober, and that I'm the best me that I can be today. And that is a good mother, a good daughter to my parents who have literally done everything they could fighting for my disease of addiction my whole life and never gave up on me. All I can be is the best daughter to them, the best girlfriend to my boyfriend, to his family. I mean, my friends who have always been there who don't do drugs, and I do have friends that actually got sober with me, and they're still my friends today, and they have a beautiful life too. But, you just have to show people. It doesn't, and that's none of their business, what those people think of you, that you're always going to be a junkie, you're never going to go nowhere with your life. All you can do is show them and be the best you and stay sober. It doesn't matter what other people say. Matters what you're doing and what you know is right and what you should be doing, which is not using and being the best you and the best person you can be. So I don't really listen to the statistics, and with the overdose thing, I mean, it's so sad to say, but so many of my friends have overdosed and died, even family members that I know have. And when I see that, it's honestly heartbreaking, but it's numbing at this point because it's happened to so many of my friends, and I mean so many people I know, that I'm just so used to hearing about it. I mean, that's where the opiate addiction is today. It brings you to death or your knees or prison if you get lucky. So, and I see that and I think, wow, that could have been me. Thank God I did not put my family through that, because I go to these funerals and I see these family members who are just these children, their parents who are just heartbroken. Thinking about it honestly makes me want to cry. It's so heartbreaking. And I refuse to put my family through another day of hell again. And that, I refuse to. But I know today I don't have to live like that, and by the grace of God, I'm sober. And you can do it. If I can, anybody can do it. And I just want you to know there is help available. Have a good day.
Hi, my name's Jim Joyner, and it's my pleasure to be a part of this resource forum with you today. And so education is a very important part of the change we need to make in not only having resources available to educate, but also to help address the terrible stigma that's founded and grounded on the little ignorance and misperception of what substance use disorder / addiction is or isn't. A lot of people think that individuals make a conscious decision to use drugs, or it's the result of their neighborhood or their family situation. A lot of parents that I've worked with believe somehow they've caused it, or they can cure it or control it. And none of those things are true. And most of those things are predicated on total misinformation and misperception.
Hey everybody, if you're watching this, I assume that you're in recovery. I assume that you are somehow affected by drugs and alcohol, as was I. I was a victim to this disease. I felt worthless. I felt no hope. I felt like there's no point in getting sober because I was so far behind in life anyways that it didn't even matter. I'm here to tell you that's definitely not the case. There are places in this area, Let's Get Real, Primary Purpose, Lakata, Road to Hope, Road to Recovery, that are filled with this recovery family that cares about you, that wants you to succeed, that will help you succeed. So just be a little willing, stick your hand out, reach out to these people, and let them show you how to live life, just for a little while. I gave these people 1 year of my life, and that's nothing in comparison to all the years it took for me to destroy it. So I promise you there's people that relate to you. I promise you there's a life beyond drugs and alcohol. You just got to be willing to just go get it. So God bless, good luck, and I'm praying and rooting for you.